And the zip line would be for pulling the wakeboards?
No, the zip line itself is just a regular zip line going over water.
Well, like to ride?
Yeah, just a ride.
Oh, that's awesome. Looks like somebody's living out here.
He's having a party out here.
Ah, yes.
How you doing?
How y'all doing?
Live indeed.
Wow, look at that.
Where do you get up there? Right up there, front.
That's beautiful.
Welcome to Pacso County.
And that's where we were.
That's where we were.
Okay.
So bisecting those properties right along with the Brazilian peppers are.
Uh-huh.
Where the water is.
So all this will be part of the park.
From all over here, all the way down here.
Now what are they going to do? Cut all this aside and put beaching in, or?
Well, the beaching won't be so much here. I mean, they're going to level this whole site down. So exactly what stays up here will be probably, I imagine they'll get it to the 14 feet bare minimum, and then just kind of go level it all out from over here.
And how many acres altogether will this be?
Well, the lake is 60 acres.
Wow.
As far as all the land around it, there was a total of 480 or so.
For the park?
For the park, but some of that's marshland, so as far as the effective use, we probably get about 6 acres over here, 10 acres over there, and probably 8 to 10 acres over here.
So you look about 25 to 30 acres.
Pretty close, the usual uplands.
And you say there'll be a zip line out here, and
Zip line will come. It should be a hike going right across that cove, going over there. From over this point by that little pine tree right there.
Right.
Running out to that spit of land that's there, there'll be 2 little training runs. And then if we go to the center park over here, we're going to have 2 championship runs. They're called 6.0 systems. There's only one other site in the world that has 2 6.0 runs side by side. And the reason they're so good is the 6.0 system is the new system that makes it smoother all the way around. The regular 5.0 systems, they really make it hard, the last two pole positions, but the other one breaks it around, so it's a lot better. It's where the championship people are going to want to play and come and do tournaments. Having them side by side will put us in a very unique position, especially if I build a nice boardwalk in the center of the 2 runs.
Oh, that would be
butterfly
awesome.
out.
Right.
Now I can have people, like in a golf course, watching down the fairway. Now they can be right up to the action of watching these jumpers do their thing.
And that'll all be right along this area here?
Right along here. It takes over the bottom 2/3 of the lake.
Now I see a lot of paths over on the other side there.
Yeah.
Those just paths through the woods?
People are driving through the woods, getting into the water over there.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So people are accessing the property now, so it's even more important to get this done.
Now, are they going to have a bike path or something around the property?
We're gonna have
or around the lake?
There'll be some type of trailer path running around the whole side of the lake. And if I on the far side out there, we're talking about putting a boardwalk that just kind of connects one little high piece of land that's out there.
Right.
But it'll be designed to do a running trail, kind of like maybe some extreme type of sports we could actually do out here between the water and the trails.
Right. You know what I can see out here is a bunch of land and hills and just natural terrain. A natural BMX track for bicycle riders.
Yeah.
You don't have anything like that around here anywhere.
Well, I'm going to tell you, we're not going to put any, I don't want to put any asphalt out here at all. I want to keep it so it's all regular terrain that people use, so that water can flow in and build extra drainage. So keep it a little bit more natural rather than putting asphalt out here.
Right.
Out to the far part, that secondary lake that's out there.
That's
going to connect into the canal and into the Gulf. So it'll be a kayak launch will be there. And we want people going to ride up there. They can kind of ride up there, park on the side, just on dirt or sand, whatever. And just kind of let them park there and just launch their boats right from there. But you see that line that's going right across?
Right.
That's that sits about 5 to 6 feet below the water level, all the way through to the Lime Rock Shelf.
Oh, that's cool. So it's deep on either side, so you could actually walk from one end to the other if you were a little bit
You're a
taller.
little bit taller than us. Matt Geiger size, maybe.
Right.
But now on the far side that you see over here, we're going to shave everything back. Same thing on the other side. Shave everything back to have some little pockets of like a little bit of a lake coming in, and then beach all the way around it. So all the way up and down. In the water over there, we're going to have a floatables, kind of like inflatable things you may see on like Clearwater Beach or on a cruise line where they have a big slide for the kids to go down, trampolines, things to climb along and run along through.
Right,
Right in the water for people to go use. Plus, they're going to do something I've never seen before, a ropes course coming out of the water.
A what?
A ropes course.
Coming out of the water.
Sitting in the water, built up above, so if you fall instead of hitting ground, you fall and you hit the water.
Gotcha.
I mean, about a 2-hour course is going to be built right out there.
Wow.
So we got a lot of neat stuff coming up.
And there's people that are actually fighting to do this, to not do this rather?
I don't know if they're fighting not to do it. The environmental dredge permit that's going on right now, that's a separate issue from this county park. The park itself, everybody that's heard about this has got overwhelming support.
Right.
Just a matter of getting to the permit to go forward. But
I mean, to me, it just looks like a win-win situation.
this is
You got a lot of great opportunities for kids. It's something like this, as big as this is. I mean, we don't really have anything like this in the county that I know of. And
when we're all said and done, if you look down along that water line right down there,
Right.
picture a boardwalk running down through that'll connect as well as a walkway going all around here. And then along that boardwalk, you can have a series of restaurants. You can have specialty shops, bikini shops, wakeboard shops, maybe a chiropractor or two.
right.
Any specialty items, you can be right alongside anything associated with beachwear. And then above that, a series of restaurants going above it.
So now this would be actually like private businesses inside the park?
Exactly. And what I'd like to see is I'd like to see a lot of the local businesses that are in the area right now have the opportunity to come forward on that first level. And maybe outside of that, if I can reach out to, let's say, Darden Company, where they have Longhorn Steakhouse, or the Outback, and bring in the Outback in, let them bring in their chains, and build that level structure above it. And if I can go one more above that, put a big convention room run alongside the whole building,
Right.
the whole length of the building, and then above that, if we could put a hotel in, so we can get a Marriott or a Hilton coming right across there, to where they can have that 4 stories on top of that, all facing perfect sunset,
So now that would all be on county property.
all on county property.
And that would definitely alleviate the taxpayers of having to flip the bill for the park, wouldn't it?
Well, the beauty of the whole thing is if we get these commercial groups, the entities coming in here, they'll say build the structure, and they pay us rent back from that structure, or lease, however you want to look at it, and I take that funds and I put that into the rest of the park, I can make it free, especially for Pasco County residents, but then keep the cost down so the taxpayers don't have to worry about it, period.
And free is what they like to hear.
Pasco County residents will love free.
Yes.
Especially if I could put some great educational programs together. If I get some straight A students or AB students or students on task, and I have a reward system out there, so they can come out and wakeboard for a few hours or for a day, use the floatables, use the zip lines, use the rope course, and make that as a motivating tool to help my educational system along the way and make it better for our citizens.
Right.
I'm a big fan of that. I'm a big fan of leading with the carrot.
I hear you there. And here you could probably even start programs in the school. God, it's endless what you could do. I mean, you could get environmental projects going here for the kids to learn about the environment.
I've talked to Boy Scout groups about coming out here on the far side of the lake. There's some open land that's out there where they can actually put up a little bit of a camp set up where they can actually stay out here overnight and kind of, do the camping right here in Pasco.
Now, is that something you might consider out here too, having camping? Not just for the Boy Scouts, but for the general public?
We could take a look at that. We haven't gone that far yet.
Because, I'm not talking about bring your Class A $1 million motorhome in and park it. I'm talking the old-fashioned tent and, a little barbecue fire, catch you some fish.
There's some areas out there on the far side around that lake that actually could lead to something like that. We got some tent sites set up around that lake too.
Now, that would be really awesome. Because I don't know too many places. My kids and I like to camp, and we don't know of too many places around here. Just about every place you got to have an RV. Yeah, that's not camping.
No, we're not gonna have any RVs out to the back part.
Now, will there be trails there so they can drive back there, or they won't even be able to drive back in there?
They could. I mean, there'll be some availability to drive back there, but it will be on. Again, I'm not looking to make any pavement out there. I want to keep it as natural as we can.
Right, but like trails like that, if you have that, you know these guys with these monster trucks, they're going to go back there.
Well, there's right over the side of that. There's marsh anyway. So how those trucks are actually getting there, I'm not even sure.
But you're not going to have it so they can even get in here, are you?
No. Okay. Not looking for any vehicle traffic really.
Keep it all natural. Wow, this is beautiful.
Yeah.
I know when I was over a couple weeks ago at the Sun Mine thing there, I was thinking that was the thing, and that was pretty awesome. But this is incredible. I see the potential for so much here.
This would be such a destination for our own people to be able to vacation right here, and the outside businesses that'll want to come in instead of having to go somewhere else. There'll be nothing like this in the world.
Right. Now, when you said it was free to Pasco County,
I'm looking to make it free for Pasco County residents.
and then people from out of the county would have to pay a fee to get in, or
I haven't set that up yet, but depending on how it works out with the arrangements we make with the commercial people that come in, as far as how they want to set it as well. But my first priority, make it free for our residents.
Right. Now let me ask you, once this is in and going, what happens to like Veterans Memorial Pool? I know we've been working together trying to get some programming up there to keep that funded. Do we lose that, or is that in the plan of keeping?
I think the infrastructure we built for our parks and the libraries needs to be fully set up. We just got to get the county commission to fully fund them the way they should be funded. Back in 85, 86, when we said we're going to invest all this money in the sales tax bond referendum, we said we were going to build these parks and they were going to have to be funded through ad valorem. So we built the capital.
What is ad valorem?
Property taxes.
Okay.
So we said property taxes would pay for the maintenance, the running of all these things built right in. So you've got people that have already paid taxes for so many years on the sales tax referendum, and now we're throwing another tax on top of it just to go use the parks that they already built. If someone came into Pasco County after 1985 or 86 and they didn't know about it, I say shame on them. This is what the voters voted on, how to tax themselves, and the government should follow what the government said they were going to do. And that's what I'll keep on pushing that as long as I'm in office.
So in other words, yes, we're going to keep fighting to keep the pools
We are going
and
to
parks
keep on
open.
fighting to keep them all, and I'll tell you what, I talked to even the mayor of Zephyr Hills. He talked about even opening Hercules again. And to me, we have an opportunity with the Penny for Pasco coming up, where if we actually look at taking some of the environmental land money away, which I think we've got plenty of already, and we take and put it back into parks and libraries. If I go take, let's say, Veterans Pool and Land O'Lakes Pool, and I go put a solar panel in there to heat the pool, as opposed to them paying a higher gas bill, take that money and offset the cost, makes that swimming program more viable.
Right.
If I take and I put solar hot water heaters in every single county park that I got, wherever there's a hot water heater now, take those out and set up where people can use the water from a solar hot water heater with no expense.
Right.
Saves us money, saves them money, probably saves us water too. If I can go through and put on the bleachers, and I put solar panels up in the bleacher areas, and every single roof that's not being used for the solar hot water heaters, I can cut the electric bill down for there. I can actually cut my bills down there. And then if I do the same thing with libraries, if I put a solar panel in every library, now I cut down the electric costs, maybe I can keep the libraries open longer too.
Now libraries, you're talking like photovoltaics.
Yes, photovoltaics for the libraries.
Right.
Exactly. And even the other things that aren't going to be using the other the solar hot water heater and the solar pool heaters, well, take those and whatever space is open, providing the sun works, and a certain angle it shines at, put the photovoltaics up too.
Right.
Cut down the bills. That frees up capital money or ad valorem money to keep the pools open longer and support the rest of the parks program.
Right. Now with putting these solar units in, like the solar water heaters on the pools and stuff, does that allow for the pools to be open for a longer season?
It'd be a much better season, wouldn't it?
It would be.
Yeah.
And I mean, truthfully, I'd like to see the pool open last month, as hot as it's been. My kids would have been there every weekend. And I think with saving the pool, if you have a longer season, you're going to get more money coming in.
And if you make it more available, such as those weekends, if the weather's good, that you have it open, guess what? You get more people. So
people there.
As well as by cutting down that gas cost that we would have by having to heat the pool, especially for the swimming programs, offsetting that, and then keeping the pools open longer, would actually create more revenue for the county too.
Right. Right.
I mean, the same staff is going to be there anyway. What's the difference?
Exactly.
So to me, it makes more efficient use of government money.
It sure does. And then, programming, sponsorship, anything like that.
Can you imagine the programs we can run out here for the kids? For this
Oh,
county?
school programs. I mean, schools could do field trips and come out here, and there's all kinds of different field trips that could be studied out here. Nature, water, everything. It's just, I can't understand why people wouldn't want it. I saw on your Facebook one time when you were saying something about it, and one person was saying something about, well, what about the environment? What about the animals? Well, if you're leaving it pretty much so all natural, what does it change for the animals? Sure, they have a few more humans walking around, but
We've actually done some great environmental things here. We actually did a land swap with Swiftmud. The land in the far bank over there is 7.4 acres. We gave Swiftmud, I think it's around 400 acres, all the way outside the marshland that's out there. That's now part of their reserve, which now connects to the southern part there. Was actually a scrub jay habitat there, which they could have built on. But with the SunWest Harbour Towne development, the land swap they did, they took land along 19 and then upland for upland, swapped them about 90 acres apiece, and they gave them all the bordering land around their whole marsh. So now all of a sudden this all connects, which actually makes it easier for Swiftmud to maintain it as well. So environmentally, this has been set up to do the right thing every step of the way. And anytime I take anyone out there to see exactly what was done with the dredge permit, when they actually look at what we're dredging and what's going to be improved, because we're going to create more seagrasslands out there now, when we're all said and done, it's actually an environmental benefit. We just can't get the credit because of the rules and regulations of the Army Corps of Engineers. But you actually look at what we create to what we're going to be dredging out.
so who gets the credit? The Army Corps?
Well, it's just they don't give us credit for mitigation. I mean, we're actually taking a hole down by the Anclote Power Plant, which is about a 16-acre lake that's in the middle of a seagrass area. But because they dug it down so deep, it's devoid of any seagrass life. We're going to take the spoils from the dredge, fill in that hole, restore it to where its natural componentry was, and all the seagrass in I won't say a short period of time, but in a gradual period of time, will fill in like everything else around it.
Cool.
Seagrass on our coast grows, which is why we've had so much trouble trying to find mitigation problems to correct. But that's a big one. Strawberry Memorial is another one. We're actually going to take two 32-inch culverts that are existing right now and put two 7-foot box culverts. That'll help the water flow back and through under the road, so that it'll help replenish the seagrass life and restore, I won't say to the natural flow, but close to what it was. So two great environmental programs that we believe in and we want to do anyway.
All stem from using stuff from here.
All stem from putting this project together.
Now, how soon do you think before actually groundbreaking gets started?
It all depends. We may get started within a week. We may get the word that we need to proceed. It could happen any time now. We're that close.
What can citizens do to help?
Citizens can write their congressman to help the county commission get this project approved through the Army Corps of Engineers.
Okay, and I'll get that information for you, and so we can flash it on the show.
Okay.
And do what we can to help this.
Okay.
Because now that I see it, I mean, I thought it was awesome before, but this is somebody's dream that I want to see come true.
Yeah.
Because I think it would fulfill a lot of dreams of a lot of people in this county, a lot of youngsters. It would give them somewhere to play, somewhere that's, they're not going to get in trouble.
Yeah.
They don't have anything here in Pasco. I mean, we have a movie theater, we have Congo River Golf, but you can only do so much of that,
Congo River Golf wants us to happen too.
Do they?
Sure.
That's awesome. And I mean, when I was a kid, this is the type of place I hung out. I didn't go to the movies. I didn't go hang out at the mall. I was in the woods, man. I'd take a pack of hot dogs, some buns, my dog, and I'd have fun. And kids these days, I think they lost track of that. They don't know what it's like to have fun if they're not on the TV with a video game. And, we need stuff like this and bring the kids out of that. This is awesome. Well, let me thank you for your time. And, anything me or my viewers can do to help, we're all on board.
Yep.
And we'll air this tomorrow night, and then I'll make sure it gets onto your Facebook.